It's muscle method.
Though Adam was a friend of mine, I did not know him well. He was low into his distance, he was deep into his well. I could guess what he was laughing at, but I couldn't really tell. Now the story's told that Adam jumped, but I'm thinking that he fell. Together we went traveling as we received the call. His destination India, though I had none at all. Well, I still remember laughing with our backs against the wall. So free of fear, we never thought that one of us might fall. I sit before my only candle, though it's so little light to find my way. Now this story unfolds before my candle, which is shorter every hour as it reaches for the day. And I feel just like a candle in a way. I guess I'll get there, though I wouldn't say for sure. That was a good one, right? There we go, that's a slap. Mike's Music Method. Come on in, everybody. Today, we are doing the amazing Jackson Browne song, Song for Adam. Or is it Adam's song? One of those is a terrible Blink-182 song, and one of them is this excellent Jackson Browne song. My dad was a big Jackson Browne fan. Can't say I love his whole catalog, but he has some gems. I adore this song. Of course, we all know his big hits. In the Shape of a Heart is a real cheesy but awesome Jackson Browne song too that will always give me amazing memories of my dad. But anyways, this is a beautiful fingerpick song. It's not very complicated, but it sounds really beautiful. So if you're kind of a beginner advanced picker, you know, in the beginner stages, but more of an advanced beginner, this would be amazing for you. If it still looks too hard, check out the Travis Picking playlist. Watch those first 5 or 6 videos and you'll be ready to roll with this one. By the end of it, you're gonna have some beautiful little hammer-on work on the F chord. You're gonna do this great stuff on an A minor, making it an A sus chord, and it's just beautiful. But what we're doing here is we're going measure by measure. I'm going to show you every note in the song. I use my ear. I generate these tabs as accurately as I can. But a couple of quick notes to help you on your journey. Timestamps are down below. They're your best friend. You can jump around through the measures. The tab is always on the screen. But of course, you can download the tab at mikesmusicmethod.com. I ask you to pay, but believe it or not, if you're broke is a joke, you can get it for free. We'll talk about that later, the honor system and whatnot. But that's it. I give you every little right hand nuance going on, talk you through the chord changes. We walk through the whole darn thing. At the end of the video, the very end, are slow run-throughs, so you can practice the sections with me. And a little bit before the slow run-throughs are the singing and playing. In that section, I talk about how to go about practice singing and playing together. And in that section, we'll also learn the general song flow of the tune. And that's it. This one wasn't requested. I just love this song. I find the melody beautiful, the picking beautiful, and I wanted to expose you guys to it if you haven't heard it. And if you have heard it, you're gonna wanna play it. So let's do it. Jackson Browne, Song for Adam. Measure 1, there's no capo. We got an A minor, but we're actually gonna lift our first finger in the left hand here because it's an A sus 2. So let's do that really slow. Now, it's up to you. I use a lot of ring finger. You don't have to, but just know that you're gonna have to be moving your pointer or your middle more. But right at the beginning, I am pinching 5 and 1. and I'm doing that with my thumb and my ring finger. Then my thumb goes to 4 and my pointer goes to 3. So I got pinch 1 and 5 and 1, 4, 3. So that's the first half of the measure. Second half is thumb goes to 6. Then I'm doing my middle finger on the second string. Remember, it's open because it's that sus2 chord. 6, 2 with the middle, thumb on 4, pointer is on 3. 6, 2, 4, 3. And again, at the beginning, if you wanted to do your middle finger, you could at the very beginning of the measure. Just know that you got to move your middle, or you're doing middle here. Pointer, 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 right? All sorts of solutions to this problem. I use my ring. Don't feel like you have to. Every picker kind of does it different, especially in the folk world. But the whole measure, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Measure 2. Then we do put the first finger down in that A minor chord. Beautiful picking here. So what I'm doing, I'm pinching 5 and 2. I'm doing thumb and middle. Then I'm immediately going to the pointer finger, and keep this one quiet. You don't actually have to play that note, but when I really slow down the recording and try to isolate that guitar part, he is playing that note in there. It's just really soft with that pointer finger. You don't want to make it too loud. So pinching 5 and 2, pointer finger on 3, thumb on 4, pointer finger back to 3. That's the first half of the measure. Then we go back. It ends the same way as measure 1 did. I lift my pointer finger, I do 6, then I lift my pointer on 2. And then thumb on 4, pointer on 3. So that ending is thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. So that whole measure, 3, 4. Then lift. And you want to lift at the very last moment. Lift that left hand right before you play it. And so you'll notice the thumb pattern. I should have mentioned this before, but the pattern is 5, 4, 6, 4. Right, we got a 3-note thumb pattern for this opening. Good news is 3 is the same as 2. And then measure 4 starts the same. That's all the same as the last 2, but then it just ends 6th string, 4th string with the thumb. And I take it back, there's one less note, right? We have just the thumb, we don't go back to the pointer there. So gorgeous. Boom! And if it's not pretty enough, check out this measure 5, y'all. This is so beautiful. I love that he's playing this F, and he pulls it off into this F sus chord. Ah, so pretty. Now, in this, you gotta do the thumb over the top. It's really hard to do this otherwise. If you can't do the thumb over the top, like absolutely you can't do that, then I would probably replace all these 1s with a 3 on the 5th string. Not gonna be the exact same sound, but you're just playing the F chord like this, right? So I'm not bothering with that low one, I'm not bothering with that top one. I just have 3, 3, 2, 1. It's a totally acceptable substitute for the F. Not exactly the same, but close enough if you can't do the thumb over the top. But if you can, I've got nothing, 1, 2, 3, nothing on the A string, then the thumb over the top. Great folk way to play this. Happens all the time. If you're old to my channel, this is nothing new. And let's do this. We are pinching 6 and 3 with thumb and pointer, and he's pulling off with that middle finger. So you heard me flub it a little bit, because you really have to have good posture and make sure you're using your fingertips only, because it's hard to get that 2 to ring open without it accidentally like hitting the flesh of this finger. That's the most common problem, is that your ring finger here is accidentally going to be touching. So you really need to get that leverage, get good posture going. And I'm pinching 6 and 3, doing the pull off, then my thumb's going to 4. Then after I do that 4, I'm doing my middle finger in the right hand to get that 2nd string. Together, 3, 4. Measure 6 is almost exactly the same. Starts the same. It's a little busier here. It's just 6, 3. So thumb, pointer. Then thumb goes to 4. Then I do pointer again on 3, but I lift the chord and it's open. And it's beautiful because it acts as an anticipation, anticipating the C chord to come, but it's also what I call an open string cheat, where you're playing an open note even if it's not in the chord, so it gives your left hand time to get to the next chord. So that measure really slow. 3, 4. And notice this left hand here, I do the pull off at the beginning, I put it back down, then I lift it back up. Measure 7 is a C chord with a G in the bass. So I'm going to play the normal C chord, bring that ring finger up. But our melody also has a G up on top, so my pinky's down. So C, got that pinky down, and the ring finger also goes the G in the bass. Inversion. This is really pretty too. So I'm just doing 6, 4 with the thumb, then I'm doing 6, 1, and you can do that with your middle or your ring finger. 6, 1, thumb back to 4, pointer finger does the third. Strings again, 6, 4, 6, 1, 4, 3. Thumb, 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 ring, thumb, pointer. One more time, 3, 4. Measure 8 starts, same chord, we don't change anything, we pinch 6 and 2. Then thumb goes to 4, 6, 4. That's it, just a pinch, and walk through it. Measure 9 takes us back to the F. Sorry, I missed it. I gotta be more careful. Get a clean pull off is hard there. That was the same as measure 5, and this is the same. Measure 10 is the same as 6. Put that finger back down, lift it, then back to the C/G. And here it's really sparse. It's all thumb in measure 11 there. Then 12. G chord here, normal G. I don't need my middle finger because we're going to skip that 5th string, so no need to waste the energy putting it down. But I've got a pinch on 6 and 3. I'm doing thumb and pointer. Then immediately playing my middle finger on the 2nd string. Then my thumb goes to the 4th string. Then I'm going to the 1st string after that. So 6 and 3. Then the 2nd with my middle. Thumb goes to 4. And now here, again, you can do ring or middle on the top string. 3, 4, that's the first half of the measure. Second half is really easy, it's just thumb on 6, thumb on 4, pointer finger on 3. Whole measure, 3, 4, 3, oh wait, sorry, 3, 4, check this out. Almost done with the intro. Measure 13 and 14 look like how we started the song. Isn't that the same as 1 and 2? Yeah, the only difference is he keeps the A minor down. He doesn't sus it again in measure 14. So that 13 and 14 together, 3, 4, you've seen them all before. I guess 14's a little bit different, but I think you've seen enough variation to kind of just see how that part goes. It's that we've seen a bunch, and it's just 6, 2, 4, 3. Shaboom! Now is the perfect time. Use the timestamps down below. Jump to the end of the video and do a slow run of the intro. Make sure you got it. As I say in every video, I tell my students this all the time. I'd much rather have you do 2 measures. Awesome, then hear you fumble through 8. Or I'd much rather have you do 4 measures that sound awesome than fumble through 16. So go slow, learn things before you practice them. And speaking of my private students, I offer private lessons. That's how I make my bread, most of my bread. So if you're looking for a private music teacher, I do it on Zoom. It's awesome. I've got lots of great students. Most of them love me. I think they all do. They're great. So if you want some private lessons, let me know. We can do that. Email me at mikesmusicmethod@gmail.com. All right, let's play through the verse. Jackson Browne just gives us great lyrics, good storytelling, and an unbelievable vocal melody in this song. It's beautiful. Let's learn what he's doing here. So it's going to be nothing too crazy, but it is a long kind of verse, right? The song's not just like back and forth on 2 chords or whatever, and the picking varies up. So it is, none of it's super hard, but it's complicated to keep it all straight in your mind. So let's learn it first, and then later in the video, we talk about how to sing it. All right, so let's do this. We got measure 15 on an A minor. Keeps it pretty sparse. We got 5 and 1, thumb alone. Then it's 6, 4, 3. So 5 and 1, 4, 6, 4, 3. Chiboom, time traveler. Now that I played the song a bunch and did the slow run-throughs, what I'm realizing in the end of measure 15 is that that final 2 might be an open, because it's really hard to get that transition to that C/G while you're playing that final 2. I mean, I can, but it's kind of ridiculous. I think it might be an open, and I may have tabbed it out wrong. That's way easier to get to. Measure 16, we go to that C chord with a G in the bass, and I pinch 6 and 2, thumb alone. Then we immediately then go back to 6, but we go to a G chord, because that second thumb, or the 4th thumb here is open, and that's the pointer finger. So I got the C/G, and I know the chord kind of changes here, but not really, because we're going to hold it down a moment longer, do 6, and then only lift the chord when we hit that 4, 3. Lifting at the last minute there. Measure 17, we get the F chord. It starts real easy, but then we get all the colors from earlier. So 17 is just 6 and 2. Then the thumb continues, 6, 4, 6, 4. Then 18, we've seen before. That's that F chord with all the color from the intro, with that open string cheat at the end, anticipating the C chord that's to come, which is 19. This is new. So we start on a C chord, normal C, pinching 5 and 1. Then my thumb goes to 4 and my pointer does 3. So here I'm pinching thumb and ring, or again, you can do thumb and middle, it's your call on 5 and 1. And 4, 3 is thumb pointer. Second half of the measure, we do like this G/B chord, but all you need are these 2. Again, it's like implying a G chord like this, but we just need the B in the bass, 2nd fret on the 5th string, then 3rd fret on the B string, the 2nd string. So I'm going to pinch those 2. And if you're not used to that, I mean, it happens in a lot of folk tunes, but you got to make sure you can do that quick C to G/B, the inverted G. Now, I know some people play it like this. That's fine, it's acceptable, but for me, it's way easier to think about that middle finger just going up 1 and my pinky going down. And I think the only reason people avoid doing it this way is because their pinky isn't strong enough. But when you do that, it's so much more movement of the hand. Look at my wrist and like elbow, how much they have to move to finger it that way. Or if I do it this way, see how stationary my elbow and my wrist are? And see how masculine and strong my forearms are? Did you guys know that that's where I got my logo from, by the way? Not to show off my veiny, muscular, Herculean biceps and forearms. Mike's music method, muscle method, Mike's muscle method. I'm happy to give you calisthenics tips and tricks, kettlebell training, by the way. If you want to pay me for my non-professional interests, you can. But for real, that's where I got my logo from. My buddy drew that little walker for me, and then I decided to get it tattooed on my arm. And then when I was desperate for a logo, because I don't know how to brand or do anything, I was just like, why don't I just use the thing that's already on my body? And so I did. Anyway, what were we even talking about? We have that C chord to that funny G with the B in the bass. And then after I pinch those 2 with thumb in middle, my thumb goes to 4, and then my pointer does 3. So it's just a great little classic folk walk, right? Even the song Landslide that everyone learns has a little trick in there. So many folk tunes do. Also, Marika Hackman, boop, I did that song. That's a beautiful Marika Hackman song. If you don't know her, check out that tutorial. And then we're back to an A minor here in measure 20. Well, it's actually an A minor 7. because the third string's gonna end up open, so you don't need your ring finger, right? It's an A minor without your ring finger. And it's the same idea, pinching 5 and 2, then it's just 4, 3. So thumb middle, thumb pointer. Then we go to a normal G, and all I need is that old low one, because I'm not doing any high, and it's just 6, 2, 4, 3. So that measure 20 there, 3, 4. And again, go super slow. Not only learn it, but pay attention. You know, how are you moving between the chords? Are you waiting till the last possible moment to switch over to them? Get all that real smooth. Shiboo, the donation page. Guys, this YouTube channel has been a beautiful labor of love of mine the last, I don't know, has it been 5 years? I don't even know. I try not to think about this stuff. I'm not one who reflects a lot, but it's been a long time. It was like 5 years in the making, and I've poured a ridiculous amount of my time and heart and brain power into this channel. And so the way Mike's Music Method operates, it is the value for value model. Believe it or not, you can access every tutorial and every tab I've created by paying me $0. I know. But I want to keep this available for everybody. I know there are 13, 14, 15-year-olds, young people learning from this who don't have a job, people in college, people who just absolutely cannot financially support it. But let's be honest, guys. 90% of you out there, 95% of you out there watching this, $5 a month. Come on, please, you can do that. I know there's well north of 500, 600, 700 people taking the content for free, and that's fine. But if you're a listener here, please consider, you're getting a lot of value from this channel. $5 a month would do so much to keep me alive with this channel, keeping me going. I'd be able to pour more time into it and really make this whole thing bloom and give you guys more amazing content. So that's it. It's the value for value model. It's not about $5. It's about what is it worth to you. Some people, if you can give $100 a month, maybe you're consuming the content in place of regular guitar lessons. That could be $160 a month. You know, if you're doing it every week, I don't know. Maybe it's $50 a month, $20 a month. What is this channel worth to you? That's what you got to think about. And there's all sorts of ways to donate. You can get a membership on the website. You can do Patreon, Zelle, PayPal, Venmo. All the links are at mikesmusicmethod.com under the donate tab or down below. And that's it. Guys, I know it's a weird world of like social media content and freemium stuff, but just know I'm a real guy out here like hustling, really pouring my heart into making these tabs. And you know, if you can do $10 a month, $5 a month, it means a lot to me, and it is going to help me. Think of it as almost like charity in a way. Like it's going to help me create more content. And because I make all this content free, by you giving, you're making more content available for free for more people out there. And not to toot my own horn, but come on, are there many other guys on the internet doing these finger picking songs as accurate and with as much attention to detail and care, walking you through the whole songs like this? I don't know if there's other people on the internet doing it. If there are, you know, there's not many of us, so that's something else to think about. I'm really trying my best to bring you guys great value. That's it. Please consider the value for value model. Onward with the tune. 21 is back to the F, exactly how it was in 17. 22, we continue, but he just does a pinch here. I'm pinching 6, 3, and 2 all at the same time with thumb, pointer, middle. On the third. So it's pinch, thumb alone, thumb, thumb, pointer. The strings are the pinch, 4, 6, 4, 3. The measure 23, we stay on the F, and it's just 6, 2, 4, 6, 4, 3, but it's an open string cheat at the end there. So 6, 2, 4, 6, 4, 3. And I'm doing thumb, middle, thumb, pointer, and I'm exaggerating it when I drop my hand. It's just to show you that it's open. But obviously I'm always getting ready for the next chord, which would be a C chord here in measure 24. So let's keep going with that. Hey, look at that. It's that same little walk down we did before in 19. 25 is the same too. We go to that A minor 7, to the G, back to an easy F. So this is all repeat. Here again, he pinches in 27, but it doesn't seem quite as big. You know, it's one, I get obsessed with subtlety and nuance, even if the artist made a mistake. But I really do try my best to get, if you haven't noticed, to get these tabs as accurate as my ear allows me to, even if it makes it more complicated for you guys, because we want to learn from the greats. So that's what we're trying to do here at Mike's Music Method. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, I have over 200 tutorials and tabs. Unbelievable. That's a lot of tabs and tutorials. Check it all out at mikesmusicmethod.com. And it's a value for value model, meaning if you're broke as a joke, you get literally the last 5 years of my labor at no cost. But come on, it's only if you're broke. I know you guys, come on, $5 a month, $10 a month. You can do it. Please help keep this channel alive. You know I'm doing good work. But more on all that later. Let's keep going with the song. So 27, just less of a pinch there. I'm just doing 6 and 3. It sounds weird without the lyrics. You're like, what? This happens in the song? But that is measure 28. We're just sitting open and open, implying that A minor, right? 5th string and 1st. I'm doing thumb and ring. You can do it however you want. Then I'm doing 2 of the 3rd frets, the G, and then the 3rd fret on the B string, right? Implying a G chord. Hold, hold. 29 goes back to an A minor, and it's 5 and 2, thumb on 4. Then we move to a G chord, 6 and 2. Thumb on 4. Then 30 is back to an F with a pinch. Getting the hang of it. And then we only do this the very first verse. He gives us a little taste of the intro again before repeating the whole second stanza of the verse. And it's the intro, I don't know if it's exact. Let's take a look here in 31. He sneaks in that high E string here, so it's a little bit different in 32 where you have that pinch, 6, 1, 4, 3. So that's a little different, and then measure 33. That's where we get the sus chord. We lift our first finger here, 6, 2 is open, then in 34 he puts it right back down. Then he does that high note again. So 34 is the same as 32. Now I think you got all that, and remember, down at the end, now is the perfect time. Do slow run-throughs of the verse. Make sure all that's sounding good. And honestly, if you're just watching this in real time, you shouldn't do that, right? You should take the time going through every measure, learning it before you practice it, right? Take the time to go super slow so your fingers know exactly what they're doing. Then you start practicing to, you know, build up speed, get a better tone, etc. Then do the slow run through at the end of the verse. Whew, this is going swimmingly, y'all, isn't it? Do you feel like it's going swimmingly? I do. If you don't, I encourage you. You're going to get this. Nobody gets this stuff overnight. You feel like a crazy person. Honest to God, good practice. If anyone is watching you practice efficiently, you're going to appear to be a crazy person, because you have to go slow and you have to do the same thing hundreds of times. We all need to do that. Don't get frustrated going, oh, Mike's doing it, why can't I? Because I sat there like an idiot like you for 2 hours a day for several years of my life, and that's how I got where I'm at. Looking like an idiot like you. No, you don't. You look fine. I know you're frustrated. It's fine. It's the process. You can do it. All right, sorry for the terrible encouragement. Let's start doing the chorus. So now we are in measure 35. Remember, we would repeat from 34 and do the whole second thing. We get this same little transition before, and then we get the I sit before my only candle. Right, we're at the chorus now in 36. Here, you can do one of two things. If you do the thumb over the top, note that you have to bar this 4th finger, and that can be fairly difficult for a lot of people. I break my rule here of compromising my wrist position in order to get that bar with the thumb over the top. And the nylon string's even harder because it's fat. But this is a moment where he's not adding a lot of color, so you could just play a normal F. But just don't let it confuse you when you go back to the other parts and you got to do the hammer on. So it's your call how you want to handle this, but we do have to hit that high E string on the F chord here. So I'm just going to bar it to keep it easy. I'm pinching 6 and 2, thumb alone on 4. And you can do a thumb and pointer there. Then I'm doing thumb middle 6 and 1. Then I'm just doing 4-3 thumb pointer. So my pointer's moving to cover the second and the third string. Again, I could have did this middle ring pointer at the end. Your call. Then we do 37s really similar. 6 and 2 though. 4-3, 6-2, 4-3. So a bit more staggered. 6-2 is thumb middle, thumb pointer, thumb middle, thumb pointer. 38, we go back to a C chord with a G in the bass. I think we've seen this before. I'll play it one time slow, but I think you guys got it. 6 and 2, 4-3, 6-1, 4-3. Let's try that together. 3-4. Different ways to handle the right hand fingering there. I'm using my ring, so I'm doing middle, pointer, ring, pointer. Your call though. 39, we stay on that chord, pinch 6 and 2, thumb alone on 4, 6, 4, 3 with the pointer. So 40 takes us back to an F, 6 and 2, 4 alone, 6, 4-3. 41 really similar. Pinch, thumb, 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 pointer. But here it's the open string cheat to go back to the C chord with the G in the bass. And it's the same pattern. So you're kind of seeing this chorus idea of it just being F to C. There's ever so subtle variations in the, in how he's picking it. But your brain can just map this to F to C. And when we talk about singing further in the video, it's great sometimes to just look at a chord chart. After you have some of the picking down, just look at a chord chart, simplify the picking, because all this is a lot to memorize. You want to memorize the picking on one level, but then you need to like zoom out, right? Like drop the resolution and go, okay, now I'm just going to like memorize the chord changes and do a very rough estimation of the picking. And a lot of back and forth between those two types of practicing are going to, in my opinion, I think you'll learn the song a lot faster and memorize it a lot faster that way. I don't know where we were, but let's take it from 44. We see the same thing again. Except 45, he finally moves here. Got 6 and 2, thumb alone. Then we go to a G chord, 6 and 2, thumb alone. So 3, 4. 46 is back to the A minor with the sus. So we have the A minor, lift it up for the sus. Yeah, then 47. Got an open string cheat here, so it's just the A minor, 5 and 2, thumb alone on 5, back to 4, and the pointer does and, but I'm using that moment to transition to the C/G chord again in measure 48. And 48 is this, 6 and 2, 4-3, then I'm pinching 6 and 1, that pinky's down, and then it's 4-3 again. So 6-2, 4-3, 6-1, 4-3. Thumb middle, thumb pointer, thumb ring or middle, thumb pointer. So just different timing on that chord. 49 stays on that chord, 6-2, 4-3, 6, 4-3. Thumb middle, thumb pointer, thumb pointer. Now we're at measure 50, and just in the tab, because I know it's easy to get lost, we're like a minute 52 in the song. Here it's a normal G chord, I got the 2 3rd frets down, and 6 and 2, 4-3. So thumb middle, thumb pointer, and then the second half of the measure is 6-1, and you can do ring or middle. 6-1, 4-3. So that whole measure 50, 3, 4. You see why this is goofy, huh? It's like almost the patterns gets easy enough when you memorize it, but holy cow, it's just like there's always a little variation. But anyways, let's keep going. 51, super simple, 6 and 2, thumb, and then 50. Sorry, that was 51. Here's 52. Again, it's that A minor thing, but it's more sparse. So he's pinching 5 and 3 on an A minor, then doing the sus thing, 6, 2, 4, 3, that we've seen a bunch in the song already. So 3, 4, 53, back to normal A minor. We've seen this one before with the open string cheat at the end. Yeah, so 54, you kind of think he's going to go back to that C/G, but he ends up on an E minor chord. It's actually an E. Well, it's voiced a little funny, so all I'm doing is this 2nd fret on the D string, and then also we need the 3rd fret on the high E string, and I'm doing my E minor like that. And I'm pinching 6 and 2, thumb alone on 4. Then the second half of the measure is 6, 1, 4, 3. So you can do thumb middle or thumb ring here, then it's thumb pointer. And then 55, we just stay there. 6 and 2, thumb alone on 6, thumb alone on 4, and then the quick 3 at the end. So easier the second time around. 3, 4. So 6, 2, thumb, pointer. Measure 56 is back to an F. But it's the F sus. So my instinct, I'd probably just play the F, because I would think F and put it all down. But then you got to remember that it's actually a sus. So 6, 2, thumb alone on 4, 6, 3 with the pointer finger. Remember it's open there, and then thumb on 4, 3, 4. '57, we make it a normal F by putting that left hand middle finger down. Pinch 6 and 3, thumb alone, 6, 3, 4, thumb pointer, thumb, pointer, thumb, C with a G in the bass, measure 58, just pinch 6 and 2, with thumb in middle, and thumb alone, thumb, pointer, thumb. I think you're getting the idea. 58 is just a G, pinch 6 and 2, and then finish it with just the thumb. Oh yeah! That is it! You did the whole thing. One little coda here, but now is the perfect time again. Make sure you learned all those measures. Go back, learn them, go slow. Play, pause, rewind, whatever you have to do. Then jump to the end of the video, do the slow run-throughs. Measure 61 is the coda, and we'll talk about song flow when we sing it, or you can just listen and get the song flow. I'm not going to go through all that now. But after the last chorus of the song, he goes back to measure 5, and he does 5 through 12. So we're kind of going back to that intro, but he doesn't do the whole intro, right? He leaves out the beginning. He doesn't do 13 and 14, but he's teasing that intro again. And then from measure, instead of going to measure 13, we would conclude here, the end of the song on 61. And guess what? I don't think any of that is new. It's just a new spot in the song where we have the A minor pinching 6 and 1, then it's thumb pointer, then we have 6, 2 on the sus chord, right? That finger's lifted, 6, 2, 4, 3. Then A minor goes back down, lifted, put it back down, lifted, then he just ends on that pinch. Quite beautiful. Shaboom! All right, let's talk about singing this song, but also when you learn how to sing it, you're also just framing all the chords, because it's hard to think of finger picking and song structure at the same time. I'm always talking about how those are two different they're two different like focal lengths or whatever, right? When you're finger picking, you're super zoomed in on the minutia, but then to see the bigger picture, it's like you need to zoom back out. I like the map metaphor or analogy where are we looking at the country or are we looking at every little back road and alleyway of a particular neighborhood? And you're gonna get better at guitar if you keep changing your map settings or your zoom. Are you magnified 20% times 20 times 1? You get all my silly metaphors, but it's very valuable because we need to practice all these things separately, make sure we can learn them. So now I'm just gonna look at a chord chart, and that's how I'm gonna think through the song. And first, whenever you wanna start singing, just strum it. Don't finger pick, your brain doesn't wanna do all that stuff. Learn how to sing it, learn how to pick it, then slowly integrate them together. So if we start on that A minor, though Adam was a friend of mine, I did not know him well. He was alone, lone into his distance. He was deep into his will. I could guess what he was laughing at, but I couldn't really tell. Now the story's told that Adam jumped, but I'm thinking that he fell. Right? I think when I was singing it before, did I have a capo on? I don't know. I still need to learn this melody better. Beautiful. It goes low, it goes high. I haven't rehearsed it. I need to do that. But this is just a great way to start slowly piecing the guitar, the vocals together. And go as slow as you have to. We'll do verse 2 now. Together we went traveling as we received the call. His destination India, but I had none at all. Well, I still remember laughing with our backs against the wall. So free of fear, we never thought that one of us might fall. Rehearse that as much as you need to. Let's do the chorus, and then I'll talk about like how to integrate the picking. It goes to the F. I sit before my only candle, but it's so little light to find my way. Now this story unfolds before my candle, to the sea which is shorter every hour as it reaches for the day. Well, I feel just like a candle in a way. I guess I'll get there, but I wouldn't say for sure. I forget how it goes at the end there. That is the idea. Really slow, just strum it. Make it as easy as possible until you get it. Right, there's another verse, another chorus. But let's just do that again. The second step I do after just real simple strumming is I'll maybe do some thumbing. Though Adam was a friend of mine, I did not know him well. He was alone into his distance. He was deep into his will. I could guess what he was laughing at, but I couldn't really. You get the idea. Then the third step would be just pick a really simple, basic finger pattern that you know. Maybe it's just, I don't know. We'll do thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. It's a little bit busy. Though Adam was a friend of mine, I did not know him well. He was alone into his distance. He was deep into his will. I could guess what he was laughing at, but I couldn't really. So do a couple basic patterns. Maybe you do it 2 or 3 times to like different ones. Maybe you have one where there's a pinch. Right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, pinch, 3, and 4. Whole bunch of different ways you can do it. And then the final step is just slowly but surely look at your tab. And at this point, hopefully you have some of the lyrics memorized, because man, is it difficult to be looking at a tab trying to read words at the same time. That's not going to happen. So when you're learning to sing and play together, you shouldn't treat it any differently than just trying to learn the tab. And again, that might be saying one line again and again and looking like a crazy person until you get it down. Because good practice means you look crazy. And if you look cool, if you're looking cool and relaxed, sorry man, you ain't practicing. Unless you look crazy, stupid, foolish, and have a sense of embarrassment, then you're not really practicing. I'm like 20% joking. So let's do this. I'm going to take it from measure 15 on the verse. Though Adam was a friend of mine, I did not know him well. He was alone into his distance. He was deep inside his will. And And that might even be too much. Though Adam was a friend of mine, I did not know. Maybe just repeat that a bunch. Though Adam was a friend of mine, I did not know him well. He was deep into his distance. He was deep into his well. I'm not singing the lyrics right. But that is the process. Really slow. Maybe you're even like marking up your tab on very particular finger hits. You can write a lyric. Because a lot of times you think it's a downbeat, but it comes on an upbeat. And that's fine. Print out the tab and mark it up. Do it again and again. Go slow. And I know you'll get it. You will. Slow run. So let's do a slow run of the intro. Measure 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow run of the verse. We're just going to do the first ending, and yeah, maybe we'll repeat and then jump over to the second ending. So we'll skip all of that stuff in the bracket there, right? So we'll pop out from 30 to 36 on the second run through. 2, 3, 4. Let's do the chorus up to measure 49, and then we'll kind of break these parts up here. So we're taking it from 36, because we had that final transition was 35, and then he starts singing on this, I sit before my only candle. So from 36, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Jump back, play that with me several times. Let's do the post-chorus here. Measure 52, just so we don't have to scroll. We can just do the ending here. 2, 3, 4. the Coda. Slow run of the Coda, measure 61, 2, 3, 4. The Mike's Muscle Method.